again, this webinar series has a set of grounding questions where we're really exploring the edges and the implications of what putting equity and technology together does, and how we can really hold equity considerations at the core of everything that we're rolling out, right? Putting that at the front. So again, hop on to Twitter, hashtag Participation Lab, and we are about to get going. So today's topic is centering equity in data-driven decisions. And data-driven is a phrase that's getting put out more and more these days, right? Data-driven cities, data-driven decision-making, data this, data that, right? And there's a lot of great reasons for us to talk about data, because there are plenty of instances when data sharing can increase equity, right? One example that comes to mind is a blog called iQuant New York, where the writer and analyst Ben Wellington used NYC open data to analyze parking ticket volume in New York City. And he found that many tickets were given at ostensibly legal parking spots, and often in low-income neighborhoods. He alerted the NYPD to this and actually had a really positive outcome, where the NYPD has begun monitoring inaccurate ticketing. I'm hearing that my audio is cutting out a little bit, so I am going to see if I can go a little bit slower. Great. There are also instances when sharing public data can highlight inequality. And Civic Hall's The Civicist recently published some very interesting long-form research about technology websites that create databases that pull from civic data sets that lists land parcels and their tax bill status. The idea being that if a parcel is available for sale due to being behind in its taxes, that a new purchaser might improve it. However, this brings up equity questions, like for whom is this open data being made available? Who are the people actually using these websites? For what purpose is this data used? Is it used to keep people in their homes, or is something else happening? And ultimately, who's responsible to the outcomes of this data being shared? There's other ways that we can think of data and equity as potentially data sharing getting in the way. And I was thinking of FOIL, Freedom of Information requests, that we can put out to our municipal, local, state, federal government, and receive back information that should be transparent, like how public money is spent. However, many people who make FOIL requests sometimes report back that the data comes in formats like PDFs, volumes like hundreds and hundreds of pages, or at costs, which can obfuscate or get in the middle of actually being able to get to the important details. And so then I was thinking about, well, when we have civic data organized, right, perhaps there's an opportunity for data sharing to clarify and contextualize. And an example that came to mind is that civic technologists can offer opportunities to interact with data that's already part of a clear context or narrative. And those of us who work in any aspect of the civic sphere can put our thinking together to organize, clarify, and contextualize where data fits in the bigger stories and narratives that people understand. So for example, for PBNYC, here at PB, we partnered with data2go.nyc to show delegates where to find local relevant information categorized about their neighborhoods. And finally, what's the way forward, right? Data decisions and social claims are prevalent and they're growing more powerful, right? And as always, with great power comes great responsibility. So as data stewards and curators, as data users and creators, we have access to provide tools to enlighten and empower, as well as tools that may evade or mislead. And so this is the context that I want us to be thinking about as we go into our conversation today.